Hi, so I'm sitting here with my daughter Annabelle and Kayla again, and we want to talk more about your story because we're going to make it into a movie. It's going to be an inspirational, awesome movie that shows people that they can overcome their hardest times. If you can do it, anyone can do it.
Yes.
At 16, you overcame, would you say pretty much a lifelong.
Yeah, a lifetime of abuse, of sexual abuse, of, mental and physical abuse, both, since the longest I can remember. And, it wasn't just me, it was my brothers also. It was
Your brothers also?
something, it was like, it was a very dysfunctional family. And it was, I
And
mean,
who was the abuse by?
it was a lot of it by my stepdad, but also a lot of it by my mom too.
So you have a lifetime of trauma in your own household with your mom and dad and watching your three younger brothers be abused. And at 16, you were able to leave home in Mexico where they fled with you guys.
Yes.
And child support services in California, you and your brothers had already been taken away, and then you went back.
Yeah, we went back once. It was under certain different circumstances, but we had, gone back, and then mom, they decided to flee to Mexico and run away with us.
So, sorry, we had a little distraction. We'll take care of it. Yeah.
Yes.
You say that again. You fled to Mexico with your
Yes.
parents did.
Yeah, our parents flee to Mexico with us.
Because why?
Well, their reasoning was that they didn't want this to happen again. They didn't want anyone to take us.
To take you kids away.
Yeah, to take me and my brothers away, but
right, because they wanted to continue.
Yeah, they wanted their safe. I feel like for them it was their safe space. It was like what they were comfortable with. It's what gave them power.
What was? Say that again.
It's what gave them power. It was like their little game that they could play. And
what was having you kids?
Yeah, having us there and just being able to do what they wanted with us.
So you guys were already taken away from your parents and here. So the abuse continued to happen when you were in Mexico, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that life-altering moment when you left your home in Mexico and what you did. Give us a few seconds, because I want whoever's watching this to help contact us and find a film crew, because this story is so moving. When I first met you and heard it, I was in tears. My husband was, Annabelle was, and we just think you're the most fabulous person we've ever met.
So I guess talk more about the night, right? Like everything.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much, because if we're making it into a movie, we don't want to give it away. But
yeah. I just kind of like go like I hadn't planned this. I kind of did, but not really. It was kind of I had a backpack, I hid it, but I had no idea. I had no money. I didn't speak any Spanish. I didn't do anything. I had a phone and I had my backpack, and I slipped out when my parents were sleeping, and I ran away. And after that, luckily, I had a very good friend who could speak Spanish. So then I called her, and she helped me translate. And
as you're saying this, you were running down the street. I remember you telling me. So
I
you were
was
running and calling her in Mexico.
running down the street. I had her on the phone, and I just was like asking people from the gas station. And then, the great thing though was I like lived like probably a block or two away from the police station.
In a Mexico police station.
Yeah. So I had, the original thing was that I actually wanted to go to the airport and see what could happen. And then, it was where the ambulances and the nurses were, and they held me back and they took me over to the police station because they're both connected. So
wait, you saw nurses and ambulance people where?
Well, there were two buildings. There was one police station and one of the nurses and the ambulance.
Like a hospital?
And, kind of. It was more with the ambulance. It wasn't really a hospital, but
okay. So and you couldn't speak any English to them. I mean,
No,
Spanish. Sorry.
no, they didn't know any English and I knew no Spanish. So I was relying on my friend and I was like, tell them this and tell them this. And then she would get back.
You were giving the phone to the Mexican people where you were so she could speak
Yeah,
Spanish and explain the help you needed.
yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And then they took you to a police station, and then from the police station, they took you to an orphanage.
Yeah, a little bit. There's some more in between, but
We'll get to that later.
yeah,
The
we'll
point,
get to that.
the point, sorry, the point that I wanted to make is those moments, right? Before you had a backpack pack, like tell us a little bit more about those moments when you were in this like house. Was it a house you were in Mexico?
Yeah, it was a house. It was 2 rooms, and it actually, well, it didn't have like a stove, a fridge, anything that. It was just like it needed a lot of repairing. We had repaired it up. We paid it really cheap, and
Two rooms
um,
for 5 of you?
there were 6 of us and a dog.
So it was pretty crowded.
Yeah, it was pretty crowded, and we had some sleeping in the living room, sleeping in the rooms, and it was small and everything, but
Wow. Oh my gosh. And so you knew you moved the passy out of the space. We have a new baby I just wanted to share, and he's in the crib and we're trying to film and babysit a 3-month-old baby. So those moments right before you packed your bag, did you know you were going to leave?
no, it was actually probably 3 or 4 days before I decided to leave. I packed my bag and I hid it, but it was so nerve-wracking and the process was so overwhelming that I had no,
Oh my
I
God.
didn't know when I was going to leave. I just packed it and I hid it and I said, well, I'll find it. And the night that it happened, like, I knew it had to be that night. There was no way that I was going to stay.
I'm getting chills right now. I'm feeling it in my stomach. So it had to be at night. There was no way you were going to stay. These are all the things you told yourself.
Yeah,
It had to be at night because
it was at night, we almost did it. I almost just left completely when everyone was still up. It was at that point where I didn't even feel like I was in my own body. It was like something was controlling me to go a certain way.
beautiful.
And
Would you
just
say
like,
that's like God or your soul?
yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was both because there's just the way that I was shaking and the way that I wanted to like fall down. I feel like also God was part of it helping me
You
and
say
just like,
shaking and you wanted to fall down?
yeah, I was shaking so much and my knees were shaking so bad. I can remember the exact feeling and it feels like I can't even explain it. There's just so much that was going through my body.
It's adrenaline. It's adrenaline.
Yeah, so much adrenaline.
You were naturally coming out of a freeze, going into a flight mode, which is so beautiful. It's like it brings tears to my eyes just feeling that charge of life force push you away from this abusive energy. Was the abuse, was there one moment where it happened again and that's what made you leave that night?
It was no, because it was just like it was I've had multiple moments of the same thing, but it was more of a just like it got to a certain point where it's so strong where I knew that I had to get out or like I didn't have another option.
But days before you actually ran that night, abuse was still happening.
Yeah, the abuse actually happened that morning.
Wow. So that night, it's like you knew you had to leave because it happened again. And then right before
Yeah,
you left, is that when the adrenaline and the shaking started?
exactly. Yeah. It was just, so much happened, that it was just
In your body, you
something
mean?
surreal, something that I can't even explain it. That's
You said you could have fallen down. So you didn't fall down. You let the energy push you out and you grabbed that backpack and you just went.
yeah, I was like running. I pretty much run like
Did you tiptoe out and close the door
yeah,
quietly? And then you
yeah.
just started running?
I just started running and the first person I saw, I hope that I talked to them and it was just some guy that was at his home and I know I looked pretty crazy, But I was just like, at that moment, I had nothing left but hope and
Oh,
leaning on God. And
that's what I wanted to say from the Tony Robbins seminar we just did. He calls it a breakthrough moment. And I have it in my notes. I wanted to understand that more. Will you grab my notebook? It's over there.
Yes.
He calls it a breakthrough moment where it's life altering. And that's what you had. This is one of the most powerful breakthrough moments I've ever heard of. And this is why I want to make your story into a movie, because you're such an inspiration. And again, I want to repeat, this happened at 16. I mean, I know adults that don't get out of negative, abusive situations. Like, you had a life force. So wouldn't you say, I just want to look at this real quick. No, right here. No, right here. The breakthrough, you got clear on what you really wanted. And wait, hold on. It's a moment in time where everything changes. That's what I wanted to say.
yes,
The breakthrough moment, everything changed. And we'll get more into this next time, but it's like, for people that are stuck in negative, abusive situations, wouldn't you say all you need is awareness and want a breakthrough moment, want things to be different?
yes. Like, I know for a lot of people, it would probably be hard, and I understand the situations, but you just have to get that breakthrough moment. You have to leave, and it may be, leaving the comfort of everything you had, like I did, but it's at that point where it's your safety, it's how you're feeling, it's your security, it's everything.
It's like all of a sudden your brain needs to realize it's not comfort.
Now,
And
you may have, the things you want, but at the end of the day, it's you're being you're in such a worse position that if you get away from it, then you can automatically get something much better than all that.
that's beautiful. Go ahead.
So, what my brain thought when you said how, like, the breakthrough moment, how you just ran away, it's almost like Tony Robbins says again. He says it's like your warrior coming out. Your warrior came out, and your warrior got so big that it's like, okay, I can't handle this anymore. We're gonna go through breakthrough. We're gonna run out, and because you have your warrior inside you, and you have your magician. And your magician says, okay, warrior, you take over, you fight. And what you did was just what the warrior wanted you to do. And now your magician is now taken over, not really taken over you, but now your magician stands strong and tall because your warrior helped you defeat the hardest.
Beautifully put. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So let's leave it there for now. And our intention is to make this into an awesome film where we can show what you went through and how you overcame it, and to inspire people to get over their darkest moments. And I cried with joy for days after I met you, because you gave me, again, I don't have words. I wasn't sad for you. And Jason and Annabelle, my husband is Jason, and this is my daughter, Annabelle, we all kept crying after we met you. And even Jason at Casa Hogar, another Jason, the director of the orphanage, who's like a father to you, we all tear up, because I think you're helping us realize this power within us all, this life force that you tapped into. And and that is what Tony Robbins does also. And we're sharing this life force to invigorate people to change and to connect to something bigger than themselves. And you're our family now. We haven't adopted you legally because you're turning 18, but we have officially adopted you in our hearts and minds and consider you a daughter and family member. And we just love you so much.
Yeah, I love you guys too. It's been honestly a journey, and knowing that I have a family, it's not like a family, but it's my, my definition. That's what I want to say. My definition.
No, you do have a family.
Yeah, I do have a family, and it's been really wonderful.
How cool that we can create a family with you, and you're in Mexico still. She hasn't left. Yeah. And we are in California, and we're going to see you again soon.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And we'll talk more. Okay, we love you. We'll talk more.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.